Welcome back. You're with us here on Midcap Radar. 9-point change down on the Nifty. Midcap and small cap indices are under pressure, and it's basically a flattish kind of day with no direction. Autos continue to be under pressure. We saw pressure yesterday in stocks like Eicher, TVS Motors, Bajaj, Hero, and that pressure continues. I mean, it's a host of factors which we've been discussing with a variety of industry players over the last 48, 76 odd hours or so. We spoke to a bunch of players today as well, starting of course with Rajiv Bajaj at Bajaj Auto. Let's just play out a bunch of their opinion on the slowdown in the auto space.
We are all aware that growth rates really dropped off since October. The reality is that most people did not anticipate this or chose to ignore it. And that is why what you said is absolutely right. Inventory for some is actually, I think, in triple digits, 100 days or more. They may or may not acknowledge that, but that is the reality. And in terms of production cuts, typically I hear of some of the big makers effecting about a 20% cut. And don't be surprised if on 1st or 2nd April you find out that some of the big ones have cut back by as much as 50 or 60% in March.
Will Bajaj Auto be cutting production at all?
No, for Bajaj Auto, I can say very confidently we are in a good position. I think this is basically for three reasons. A, we did not crank up production and therefore inventories as much as the others did pre-festive. Secondly, we preferred to be safe than sorry, and therefore we had a strong promotion lined up for the festive season, which kept our retail momentum very strong, and that continues to be strong. And I think most importantly, we anticipated this scenario and had a very clever strategy in place to address three very clear segments of price entry and premium with three brands, CT, Platina, and the Pulsar. And we worked on them on all three important or four important aspects, I would say: product, price, promotion, and distribution. As a result, we are at 55 days of inventory right now. I can tell you very specifically, our retails this month may be 200,000 or a little more. The stock is 375,000, so that's about 55 days work. And we have two choices because we are not happy with 55 days of stock. We can either reduce stock to 45 days by reducing the inventory, or we can push up our retail. And I think we are going to push up our retail. You will see it moving up. I am very confident in the next 2-3 months to 250,000 or thereabouts. And then we will be absolutely comfortable at 45 days of stock.
What are you noticing? Is there more downtrend in the four-wheelers or more in the two-wheelers? Just give us more color in terms of demand and pickup by the OEMs.
I think from a demand perspective, we heard what Mr. Bajaj said, and we normally have no business to second guess what our customers say. And we all know that the second half of the current fiscal from October onward has definitely been under pressure. But what we have been doing is, in addition to adding more products and more premiumization, we have been able to withstand that pressure. Even if we see from industry perspective, while the second half has been broadly 8 to 10% lower, we have been able to maintain our revenue. And going forward, we are all echoing what the customers are saying, be in terms of four-wheelers or two-wheelers, that up to June, at least there are no signs of strong revival. We are tightening our belts. The focus is mostly on quality, delivery and development, and we are continuously working to up our portfolio in terms of offering to the customers, which is now we are adding sensor plant, we are adding the alloy wheel plant. Recently we have acquired a seating company called Harita Seating. So we have been trying to withstand this tough time. We all know that the long-term story for the country is intact. We are very heavily, I would say, not that extent of penetration in terms of four-wheelers. So we believe that four-wheelers may actually see more growth going forward as compared to two-wheelers. But both the businesses, we are confident, will grow.
In FY20, are you looking at a double-digit growth at all, or do you think it will be single-digit then as well?
There will certainly be a growth next year. And to your question to Rajiv on pre-buy, I think next year you will see the impact. This year you might not see it because of safety, the safety items which are being introduced. But next year certainly you see the impact because the price differential between Bharat stage 4 and 6, there's a difference of about 6,000 to 7,000 rupees, as what Rajiv is saying. And there is going to be an impact as far as the customers are concerned. And you'll see both the vehicles in the market in the month of, say, I would say September, October, November onwards. So there would be a comparison and people would actually make a choice there. So you'll see a lot of buying there. And I see a growth in 20. And I think we should be around 8 to 10%. That's what I would estimate as far as two-wheelers are concerned. In the car industry, I would also estimate around 6 to 7%. That's what we have factored. And the exports should also do well. That's what we are factoring. The diesel is going to collapse. That, of course, is the other thing that we are factoring. And whatever investments are there, we are diverting those investments into the gasoline and or electric vehicles. That's what we are doing. But we see a growth in 2020 and we are investing accordingly. And besides that, we also have, like I said, the export orders and for more items and more components with large customers. And I think that would also see our growth taking place next year. So we are targeting almost 20% growth next year. This is our, as per our own budget.
All right, we wrap up on Midcap Radar with the news as the Sensex has moved back into the green for now, at least holding on with slim gains. And HDFC Bank, that is, consistently been moving higher. So that's pretty close to the high point of the day. And that has been the main contributor for this, of course, Infi being the other one. But that's a wrap. Your stocks follows.